map?
Here is a Soltari hololog, where you can learn.
I mean,
more
I guess like
about lost
Returnal fans are gonna be happy.
Hold up for me. I will find you. I promise.
I was not a Returnal fan. I mean, technically it looks like there's less stuff on screen. Maybe they decided to take Returnal and kind of like slow it down. I don't know, it still feels like you're just shooting a bunch of aimless stuff just because, you know what I'm saying? Be Nice says I played on the Xbox
This is
Ally.
Second Chance, where you can be revived on first death to get straight back into the action. Second
Like, I don't know,
Chance is
do you
not
guys
about
see what I'm
progression
seeing?
systems,
Like,
which means you will always come back stronger.
this doesn't feel very exciting to me. Again, I think if you're a Returnal fan and you're like, man, I love that game, I want a little more. I don't even know if this would satiate a Returnal fan, because it seems like they're doing less than what they did on Returnal as far as like enemies and stuff.
The sun is forever.
I mean, I don't know what that ending was supposed to do for us.
We hope you love.
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today, yes, we got your next dose of the salty batch files. Yes, it's kind of like pick your theme, pick your output, whatever the case is, because there's been so much salt lately from the Xbox fanboys, the delusionalists, the talking heads, you name it, all the above. And in this theme, we're going to be talking about Wolverine. That's right, the next bombshell that Sony did drop and distribute, re-show off, whatever you want to say, and there's lots of good fun to be had here, let me tell you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to the theme of things here again. Basically, in response to Wolverine being shown off at the latest PlayStation State of Play, we're going to get right to it here because there's a lot of stuff to be showing off, so let's get right to it. Anna Anson, of course, haven't shown them for a little bit, but they're back, of course. The Salt, again, just a quick pause here. If this game was day and date on Xbox, just like they've been clamoring for Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Remastered, all this stuff, I guarantee you this would be a different tone right here. So just keep that in mind as we continue to go through here. So again, Anna Anson, bah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha, bunch of ha-has, to overcompensate the salt and the pain here, by the way. So bad, with a bunch of laughing type of emojis here. Hashtag PlayStation is garbage. Hashtag Xbox. Hashtag Xbox Game Pass. And of course, they do the classic. This is what they do. They do a zoomed in, bad quality rendered part and make it seem blurry and all this stuff here. So anything to make themselves, of course, feel better. But again, if this was on Xbox, different story. But the fact that it is a PlayStation exclusive and not even a day and date with PC at this time, will it come to PC at a later time? Probably. But as far as Xbox, no, not anytime soon. But again, they're masking that pain, right? You love to see it here, but we're not done. We're not done. We got to get over to the Catfish, a.k.a. Joseph Cruz, a.k.a. Andrea Piccinini, a.k.a. he borrows other people's pictures to put someone else, but now he's rebranded. But here we are. When Wolverine was leaked, I thought it was fake. Or maybe just too early footage. But it's real. It really looks this much underwhelming. I don't believe English is their first language, but still. What was Insomniac doing all these years? Of course, Ironclaw Gaming at the bottom. He's another tool and a half. S is gonna play like arse when you get into the open world stuff, just like it did in the leaked gameplay. So, again, they look stupid already because people, the livelihoods of these folks, these developers anyways, whoever was able to leak the previous things, this is what delayed this game, made them kind of redo the drawing board, for better or worse, right? I don't know how that initially was going to look like, what it was going to be story-wise, etc., etc. But as we continue here, right, they're talking about the pre-alpha footage that looks absolutely nothing like this. Then the other stuff was fake. They were using Just Cause 4 with mods on it, being Wolverine, trying to pass that off as Wolverine. All this stuff, right, to make it look bad. And again, we're using the same terrible blurry images, and even these blurrier images and lower res images still look fire, still look good. Again, trying to mask that pain. They're all over Blade, by the way, because Blade was supposed to be exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem, and going forward we find out this is more than likely not the case, and if anything a timed exclusive, but it is coming to PlayStation 5, you can bet your bottom dollar. But again, just anything to mask it. But if it was Xbox exclusive only, guarantee you different story here. But the pain is so good. But let's continue here. Xbox Nintendo 222, right? Here we go, a bunch of laughing, crying emojis right here. And then we have the oh crap emoji, a bunch of laughing emojis, continued laughing emojis, because for some reason it's funny to put and superimpose a blurred out, low-res, pixelated face over Wolverine, and then of course put another pixelated stuff throughout the low-res image to try and make it even worse than what it's being photoshopped, stretched, all this stuff to make it look worse than what it is. But again, masking that pain. The salt is real, guys, to immediately attack it. If it was anything else, if it was third party, if it was available everywhere, do you think they would be doing this? No. Do you think they'd be doing this with any other game that was not a PlayStation exclusive? No. The pain is real. The salt is real. But as we continue here, Dandy Deathmatch, definitely incredible. So of course we got Wolverine, a different type of box art here, and this is in regards to they think that it's going to be happening, coming to Xbox. Have they moved on from Spider-Man already and thinking that it's just going to be Wolverine, or Wolverine in addition to that? They're definitely hoping, coping, all that sort of stuff, hoping it drops on their system because, well, that's what they want, but they're not getting it anytime soon. Hashtag, just buy a PlayStation 5 and you can get these things day and date, no worrying. No twiddling or tweaking even on a PC ecosystem. You don't even have to do that. Just purchase yourself a PS5 if you want these games that bad. If you're port begging that badly, pick yourself up a PlayStation 5. And if you don't want a PlayStation 5 and you don't want this game, move on. It's that simple. But if you respond, if you get mad, upset, anything that's being even said here or on social media, that means you're upset, you're salty, and you're full of copium. But let's continue. Ironclaw Gaming, he's back already. I don't even think I featured this idiot on the channel before, so he gets a double entendre here, right? Am I the only one that saw the terrible leaked gameplay for Wolverine PS5? Game is going to be S. No amount of vertical slices can change that. So now they're upset that this game is going to be a good game. You know it's going to score no lower than in the 80s. Insomniac are just wizards at this point in time. Guys, quick pause here, right? Yes, Miles Morales was a PS4, PS5 cross-gen game, but still it came out this gen. You got Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and then we're going to get Wolverine. We possibly were going to get a smaller spin-off game of Venom this generation. We still might, we just don't have information on that. These guys, and I know they're a fairly larger studio, these guys are absolutely wizards. The Xbox delusional fan base wishes, they dream, they go to bed crying and dreaming and memeing the Wolverine picture thing, hoping they could even get anything close to this. This is why they're upset, right? If they weren't upset, they wouldn't even say a word. If you didn't care, if you weren't intrigued whatsoever, you wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't be crying about it. You wouldn't be lying about it. You wouldn't be coping about it. But here we are. Ironclaw Gaming, the poster child for this, is what's going on. As we continue, we got the glorious Xbox Series XS here. Rumor, PS5's Wolverine releases Q4 2025 to be timed exclusive, and an Xbox version releasing in spring 2026 with the looking GIF, right? This is completely, and keep in mind, I do have to, this bears saying, and it bears repeating, this person as well has a ton of followers, and I don't know if they're bots or whatever the case is, but at the time that this was posted, as you can see, it was 2:11 a.m. my time, whatever, but it's just, this is back in 2024, man, and before anything came out, this just doesn't come out. This doesn't come out well when you make stupid predictions, you throw stuff on the wall. They have a bunch of followers. Again, whether it's bots or not, it still bears repeating that they have this number behind their name that is what you would do to influence others. Casuals, people that may pop on social media not as often and are not familiar with this idiot. You come across this misinformation, again, you're gonna harm the Xbox brand. You're going to harm so many different things. It's a domino effect, right? That's what it is. But again, the copium is real right here. They think out of all of them, Wolverine's going to be a timed exclusive, if anything. Yes, totally. Especially under the Insomniac umbrella, let me tell you. Not anytime soon. If that happens in the future, again, we're looking at a point in time, another quick pause, we're looking at a point in time, and I'll have to get a video to this, where Xbox consoles right now are being pulled from Costco's, they're being pulled from EB Games, they're being pulled from Target stores and stuff like that. It's, you know, what are they doing? Are they making room for a possible new gen system? Usually they don't do that until the new gen system's out. The the X-ROG Ally Xbox, whatever, tongue twister half the time. If that is a thing, which it is, right? That's basically a PC. So they're just going that route. This is telling in unprecedented times. This is truly unprecedented times. These guys are freaking out because if they wanted to be on PC, they would have done that well, I would say like 3 or 4 years ago at the minimum. They would have already migrated over to play, Xbox or PC rather, sorry. And they didn't do that. So they're being forced by Microsoft to do this. They're being forced to do this. So they're frantic right now, guys. This is a message of being frantic to the highest degree. But let's keep going. He's not done. Xbox Series XS is continuing here. I'm not feeling Wolverine for the moment, by the way. This is crazy. Just previously, right? They were talking about how it's going to be there. They're excited for it, but they're not feeling it at the moment. I hope that changes. Wolverine is one of my favorite Marvel characters. So there you go. There you have it. We could stop right there, folks. The salt is real. The coping is real. They are burned. They are furious. They are so brand loyal that one of their favorite IPs and superheroes out there, anti-heroes at times, is not available on their favorite platform. They refuse to get a PlayStation 5 acknowledged greatness that is going to be this game, all for the sake of the grift and all for the sake of brand loyalty when you take a product over you actually enjoying something in your short life, the short lives we have here on this earth. But you do you, you do you, the receipts are there. Liam Fraser continues, if it was an Xbox exclusive, you'd be wanking over it. Exactly, right? Just like we shown with the receipts. But as we continue, Ventilator, yes, hey, hee, whatever. It looks like Insomniac is recycling Sunset Overdrive engine over and over again. They did add web slinging to Sunset Overdrive at some point, lol. Insomniac's future is only Marvel games, so RIP. So again, very upset, and some people are upset about them being a Marvel IP studio. This isn't the case. They're going to continue with Ratchet and Clank. I'm sure they'll continue with other games as well, but man, I'll tell you what, I'm sorry. I'm a huge Marvel fan. This is right up my alley. I love every aspect of it. I think Insomniac are the GOATs of this generation, hands down. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Insomniac are the GOATs. Thank you, Insomniac. You guys are absolutely amazing. You are killing it in every Spider-Man game. Loved every entry. Some of the best Spider-Man games we've ever played, seeing their versions come to life. Super excited for Liam to reprise or to enter this role, rather, for Wolverine. I think the whole thing's going to be amazing. They showed off Omega Red, for crying out loud. Love Omega Red as far as an antagonist and enemy villain of Wolverine, the X-Men, and many others. Think it's so cool. I can only imagine what they're going to do with this, and it's amazing. So I don't know where you're trying to find the W here or the dis, but take it and move on and go play COD or whatever you want to do, buddy. But as we continue here, so Snap Blast is back with a couple, right? This is standard. A lot of people do this for the grift, right? You see this here, state of mid. He has a blue dot, state of mid, right? Instead of state of play, state of mid. But before this, We have Snap Blast stating, after that PlayStation State of Play, it's clear that once again, it's up to Xbox to save us tomorrow at the Tokyo Game Show. Once again, that didn't age so well because everything they did show us was third party or first party, but it is basically a third party game because it's coming to PlayStation. Everything they showed at Tokyo Game Show were games, yes, that we already seen as well, and games that are coming to all systems and platforms. There's nothing that they showed that was amazing there. It's like, oh my gosh, there wasn't even one or two dropped beats of a game we haven't seen or heard about or needed to be seen, whatever the case is. But yet, that did not age well whatsoever. But he takes an L almost on the daily. Again, a very large follower base. I don't know how. People like to discern themselves in this sort of delusion. Very odd to me. But let's keep going because, like I said, we have one more example here. I'd love to beat a drum on these guys and just keep taking them down a few more notches, but the show must go on, right? I respect your guys' day at the end of the day as well, so let's get through these examples. Last one, like I said, Xbox Nintendo 222 coming back around one more time here. The generation is almost over, and Sony is still stuck in the early 2000s with cartoonish graphics without any kind of current visual refinement and current visual technology. And guys, I haven't really come across this guy that often. You can see that Anna Anson re-quoted the guy, so that's odd. But I have only recently come across this guy. What are you taking from this Wolverine aspect alone that there's cartoonish graphics? And if it was, who cares? One of my favorite games out there with cartoonish graphics is Wind Waker. I think that's one of my favorite Legend of Zelda entries, next to Link's Awakening. But when we're talking about cartoonish graphics, why are we trying to diss the type of graphics that are out there? And this is aside because Wolverine, like I said, is anything but cartoonish graphics. This is realism. This is more CGI-esque or whatever the case is even. This looks super, super good. But like I said, stuck in the early does he need to go back? You can literally Google video game images from games, popular games, in the year 2000, 2000s to 2010. Tell me 15, 16 years ago what the graphics look like, you idiot. You absolute moron. And then no visual refinement? Oh my gosh. If anything, the visual refinement is the best on PlayStation 5, is the best on the PlayStation 5 Pro, with the first-party games especially. They're probably still upset about the cartoonish graphics of Astrobot and that winning Game of the Year last year. God forbid what kind of game possibly might win Game of the Year for PlayStation this year if it happens. There's so many great games in the running, probably Expedition 33 or whatever, all of them deserve it. You know they're going to run with that. Topic is it was on Game Pass and that's why. So if Expedition 33 does win, which they deserve to win, in my opinion, if they do win, but it's steep competition. But we'll get to that. We'll have a video for my top picks and what your guys' top picks will be in the future videos. But at this point in time, a lot of strong candidates, and Ghost of Yotei rather, is going to be coming out, and I mean there's so many games that are just going to be up for the running for Game of the Year, but Lord help them that it's not another PlayStation first party game, because if they do, I think their heads seriously might implode. I think their minds will be too blown. They'll be all checked into some sort of mental institution at this point in time. It's not going to work out well for them, so for their mental health, let's hope that doesn't happen, but for our amusement, let's hope it does happen, just for fun. But that being said, look at all the salt that we had just from some small few examples from Wolverine alone here. But that being said, we will wrap up the video here, of course. I had some fun with this one. I hope you guys did too. If you haven't already, leave a like and comment down below. Both those things do help out the algorithm, and I do love to hear from y'all and interact as much as I can. In addition to that, if you haven't already, consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself, working our way towards that 4,000 subscriber goal. So thank you all so much. It's crazy. Algorithm's kind of crazy as of the past few months, but you guys are amazing. The support is phenomenal. Thank you so much. You want more of the truth, want more fun, want to sort out this delusional weirdos out here, stick around for this channel. And again, as always, play where you want, how you want. Just don't be a delusional weirdo, and it's as simple as that. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you next time on the next Xvault gaming video. But on top of that, at the utmost foremost, don't be a salty batch. Take care.